A warm welcome to the orientation for the Youth Triathlon at the J. I am Don Heron. I am the race director, and we're excited to have you back again this year. We're going to go over some of the things that you need to know about the race, some of the new changes, and the items you'll need to bring with you on race day. So let's get started. First of all, what do you need pre-race? Things to consider: you're going to need a bike helmet for sure. A water bottle is highly recommended. You'll need goggles for swimming. And some people like to bring a race belt to put their race number on, which you're going to need to wear during your bike and run. We'll go over those things in more detail. There's no skateboard helmets allowed. You'll need an actual bike helmet. It's important to make sure that the bike helmet is put on correctly, which we'll cover here in a second. And your bike helmet must be worn at all times when your bike is not parked, meaning when you're riding it or pushing it out of transition or bringing it back into the transition area. Also, your helmet must be buckled at all times. So here's some issues not to have with your helmet. One, not to have it unbuckled or unstrapped, not to have it cockeyed to one side, not too far forward and not too far back. Moms and dads, we'd appreciate it if you check your kids' helmet before they come to the race to make sure they're fitted properly, just in case there was an incident. And here's the way it should actually look. Again, not too far forward, not too far back, straight on the head, and secure on the head. During the race, you're going to be provided with a race number. You need to put the race number on during the bike and the run. You can pin it to your shirt, or you can put it on a race belt and use that during the race. It's likely to be hot on race day, so you need to take into consideration that issue. One is to bring sunscreen. However, we want you to mark your arms with a magic marker and put your number on your arms and your legs. So prior to using the sunscreen, make sure you do that. You can do that at home if you have a magic marker. And if you don't, bring your sunscreen with you to the race and we'll mark your body. Then you can put your sunscreen on. Bring cold water for on your bike if you're used to drinking on the bike and for the transition area. A cold water bottle is great. If it's particularly hot, you might put it in the freezer the night before, freeze it, and by the time you're ready to race, it'll be unfrozen and plenty cold for you. If you do start to feel sick, ill, or overly hot, feel free to slow down or even stop. There's no reason here to be sick for this race. It's your health that we're concerned about. So again, if you heat up and it's just too much, feel free to stop and either continue on after you stop or come back to the transition area and complete your race. Here are a few things you need to bring on race day. These are the minimal things. First of all, for your swim, you're going to need goggles. Also, you're going to need a swimsuit or something to swim in. A lot of the kids will swim in the same outfit the entire race. That's perfectly permissible. For your bike, you're going to need to wear your race number. Your bike shoes, if you have bike cleats, or running shoes otherwise. You definitely need a helmet. And the helmet will have to be on. A lot of kids like to wear sunglasses, which is great. And bring a water bottle for your bike if you are able to drink water while you are riding. That does take some practice if you've never done it before. On the run, you'll need your running shoes. We recommend a hat or a visor and quick laces. Those are laces that don't need to be tied. That way you can get your running shoes on quickly and save time in transition. And finally, afterwards, or not even afterwards, but during, you'll need a transition towel, something to lay your stuff on, your shoes, your hat, that type of thing. A lot of kids like to wear a race watch. That's perfectly permissible. You might want to bring a pair of sandals and dry clothing to wear for after the race. And again, you'll need sunscreen, especially if it's a very hot day, which it's likely to be. One thing you need to do prior to coming to the race is to check out your bike. If you have bike problems, we recommend you take your bike to Elite Cycling. They are located in Mission Farms in Leawood. They will also be there on race day. And they'll be able to help you out, but they won't be able to fix anything that's critical that day. So again, check your brakes, check your gears, check everything over. If you're having serious problems, bring your bike to Elite prior to the race. Also pump up your tires either the night before or race morning so that they are properly inflated. On race morning, the race is going to start at 7:30 a.m. Do not arrive at the J before 6:30 a.m. We also have a TOTS race again this year. We're not exactly sure what time it'll start or what time the TOTS will need to be there. We'll send out an email to you indicating the TOTS approximate start time and the time you'll need to be there prior to the race. Otherwise, everybody else needs to be in transition and fully set up prior to 7:30. Again, do not arrive before 6:30 on race day. You will go to the Sprint campus, what now is called the T-Mobile campus, and that's where you'll park. There's no parking on the JCC campus that day. Actually, you can get to the Sprint campus off 115th Street. That'll be your easiest access. And depending on what time you get there, your only access. Again, you'll need to get there before 7:30 unless you're a tot racer so that you have a place to park. You'll park in parking lot D, and you'll see that labeled. It's a parking garage. You park your stuff there, get your bike and everything else, and you can simply walk over to the J from that point. It's a very easy access. After you walk over to the J, you're going to have race check-in. At that point, you'll get your body marked if you haven't already marked it at home. You'll get your transition area set up. So you're going to have everything set up ready to bike and run. And then you're going to head over to the clerk of the course when you're called. There'll be plenty of volunteers there to help you get your set up in transition. Moms and dads, you're free to help get set up in transition. However, once the transition area closes, only racers or participants are allowed in the transition area. If they need help, there'll be volunteers there to help them. All they need to do is ask. At the beginning of the race, we will call you over to the clerk of the course, which is located in the tennis courts, to stage you to get you ready for your swim. This will be done by age groups. At that time, you're going to get your timing chip. You put it around your ankle. There'll be people there to assist you if you need it. So the timing chip will be used to time you from the very start to the very end of the race. Do not take it off during the race. Make sure you keep it on and make sure it's secure prior to the start of the race. We have some slight modifications to the J than in the past. So the transition area now is going to be where the black arrow is. And as you can see, part of the tennis courts have been removed. And that's going to be where the parents are going to be able to gather and watch the bike and the run part of the course. In the transition area, they will be marked by your age, so set up by age. There's going to be 4 bikes per rack, so make sure you only have 4 bikes per rack, maximum of 5 unless otherwise instructed to do so. You'll see little signs at the end of the rack, like you'll notice here, that indicates your age. Put your bike where it belongs per your age group so that we can have everybody come in and come out efficiently. During the swim, there's going to be plenty of lifeguards. You're welcome to hang on to the ropes or the side and rest as needed. However, you cannot use any swim aids. If you do use swim aids, which we will allow, you're just simply not eligible for the prizes at the end of the race for the competition part of it. The bike course is on the Sprint campus, or the T-Mobile campus now, totally closed to all vehicular traffic, so you won't have to worry about cars on the course while you ride. For the bike, when you're in the transition area, you need to walk your bike out of the transition area. When you're done with your bike, you need to walk it back in. There will be a mount and dismount line for you to go to where you get on your bike and get off your bike and walk it to or from your rack. Let's talk about the Try for Tots race. You're going to swim 25 yards or actually walk through the pool for 20 yards, bike approximately 0.7 miles, and run approximately 0.25 miles. This is for 6-year-olds and under. Moms and dads, you're willing to help out all you want during the Try for Tots race. One thing, no pets on the course during the Tots race, and no siblings on the course during the Tots race. So just one parent or 2 parents helping out the Tots, otherwise it gets to be too congested. Tot swim will be in the shallow part of the pool, which you can easily wade through. If you have someone who's actually a good swimmer and wants to swim, we can make arrangements for that. You're going to do 2 laps. And the Try for Tots course, you're simply going to go out of the transition area, bike down to 115th Street, bike back, run up to the J entrance part, and run back. That'll all be clearly marked. Here's a map of the course. All right, for everybody else, for the swim, we got an indoor swim and an outdoor swim. The indoor pool is 25 yards. The outdoor pool is 50 meters. So depending on your age, that's how you're going to swim. You're going to swim down, go into the ropes, swim back. Depending on your age, it depends on how many laps you will do. So you do this serpentine style. Again, you can hold on to the ropes to the side if you need to. For the laps, the short course is 2 lengths in the pool. That's down and back. 1 lap on the bike and 1 lap on the run. This is for the 6 to 8-year-olds on the short course. So try to remember that. Recommend writing that on your hand. 1 lap on the bike, 1 lap on the run for the short course. Here is the short course bike course. You're simply going to go out and you're going to get over to the Sprint campus and hang a left, go to the turnaround, and come back. And here is the new run course. It's actually 1 lap, fairly short. Come out of the transition area, run up to, about halfway up to the J theater there, and then back into the finish line. So check that course map right here for the short course, and we will also have that online for you to look at. For the intermediate course and the long course, basically going to be the same distances. On the swim, you're in the 50-meter pool, and it's all outside versus the inside pool. The intermediates are going to do 2 lanes, down and back. The long distance athletes are going to do 4 lanes, down and back, down and back. On the bike, intermediates are going to do 1 lap. Long coursers are going to do 2 laps on the bike. And here is the new bike course, or actually the old bike course, for the long and intermediate courses, the same as it was in the past. For the run, there will be aid stations on the run for water. There won't be aid stations on the for water on the bike. The run course is new. Here's a map of the run course. Check it out. Soak it in. You can see we're not going to go all the way down on the back side of the J like we used to. 1 lap for the intermediates, 2 laps for the long course group. And again, we'll have this map online for you to look at more closely. Again, it's important for you to remember how many laps you need to do. I recommend marking those with the pen on your hand or your arm so that you don't forget. And here it is one more time for the short course, intermediate course, and long course for all your swim, bike, and run laps or lanes. So soak that in, take a good look at it, and make sure you know exactly what you're doing on race day. If you're in a long course team, you're going to swim 4 lanes, bike 2 laps, and run 2 laps. The way that you change your baton is you actually change your running chip. So you're going to have the swimmer wear the timing chip. During the swim, they'll hand the timing chip off to the biker, who will then hand it off to the runner. And we're only having long course teams this year, so it's 4 lanes in the pool, 2 laps on the bike, and 2 laps on the run. There will be signs on the course. Should you forget your laps, take a look at those to make sure you know how many laps you're doing. We don't want anybody to forget, anybody to go too short. It causes a bit of consternation, so please try to keep that correct. And moms and dads, help out. Spectators, make signs, yell, scream. The only thing we don't want you to do is to get on the bike course. Don't leave your bags unattended. That causes security problems, so keep everything with you at all times. Again, don't be on the race course, and no parents allowed in transition after the race starts, except during the TOTS race. We will have awards, first, second, and third for the age groups. There's medals for all finishers. And we will have food and beverage bags for everybody. And Kona Ice will be there again this year, hopefully during the entire race. So when you're finished, you can get your Kona Ice and head on out. If you would like to get more involved in the sport of youth triathlon, we have a youth triathlon team. It's called SBR Elite. You'll see some of the kids out there racing on race day. And you can simply send an email to sbreliteteam@gmail.com, and we'll put you on our mailing list. There's no charge to be a member on their team. It's coached by USA Triathlon and Ironman coaches, including myself. And we would love to have you join us. It's a great group of kids who are excited about the sport of triathlon and the potential of making the Olympics, which, if you are interested in that type of thing, your probabilities of making the Olympics in triathlon are far greater than probably any other sport. We also have a number of other triathlons this year we hope that you will attend. Next up on July 25th, the North Kansas City YMCA Triathlon presented by Tri-KC. This is a new triathlon, a very flat and fast course. I think you'll really enjoy it. It's a great facility. Please join us on July 25th. On August 21st, the JCPRD Kids Triathlon. That's at Kill Creek Park, another great event. And then hopefully on September 18th, we'll have the Tri-KC Lake Olathe Splash and Dash, and that's still pending. We're not actually sure if we're going to be able to get that one in this year, but we hope to do so. So 3 more events coming up. Check out trikids.us for all the information regarding this event. It's trikids.us. On race day, the most important thing to do is to have fun. This is a fun race. There is competition, but having fun is what we want to see. The smiles on your faces when you cross the finish line. We want to thank the JCC and Tri-KC for helping put on this event. It's been a number of years that we've done this, and we're so excited to bring it back to you again this year. We also want to thank our donors and sponsors who are listed here. Please support these people. They help support our sport of triathlon. So once again, thank you very much for attending this orientation. If you have questions, leave them in the comments below. We will answer them, and we hope to see you on race day.